For some reason, the PlayStation community is convinced that Sony is the golden child. Sony could do no wrong. Sony has nothing to worry about because everything that Sony touches turns to gold. Yes, today we are going to investigate, is this statement true? Is it true that everything that Sony touches really goes gold? We're talking about liquid gold. I mean, even the gaming media doesn't have anything negative to say about PlayStation. It's Xbox who is dying, according to the gaming media. When we look at the PlayStation fans, they are saying that Sony has nothing to worry about. They are killing it on all fronts when it comes to studios, when it comes to games, when it comes to developing new IPs, everything. Listen to MBG and listen to how hopeful he is when he's talking about PlayStation owning Deviation Games.
Make our own, like I said, Metal Gears, our own Deviation Games is a perfect example. Sony, we can make our own Call of Duty. We have to secure this talent. So what do? You make a partnership with Deviation Games. You fund them. You own the IP, potentially. I'm assuming they own the IP, whatever Deviation Games is making. So that way, if it takes off, if Deviation Games basically makes the next Call of Duty, the next generation of Call of Duty, PlayStation was there from the ground floor. They were there from the bottom, and they're like, you know what do you guys think about us acquiring you? We were there from the start. We believed in you. We supported you. Come join PlayStation Studios. And before you know it, just like that, Sony doesn't need to worry about Call of Duty anymore, because Sony worried about the most important thing, the talent that they're securing.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
What storm you're talking about, lady? MBG is right. Sony is going to do marvelous with Deviation Games. And a matter of fact, let's look at the different studios that Sony would have had partnerships with or has fatally owned, and how they flourished throughout the months, how they flourished throughout the years. We'll even look to see how every new IP that was announced for PlayStation has been released to raving success. We are going to talk about that and how Sony is really the child of gold, the golden child. Sony has nothing to worry about. So you know what? Let's talk about it.
This is a sickness!
Let's get it. Let's first look at games. You see, every time Sony has any kind of partnership, any kind of dealings with any games with any studio, it goes gold. Everything that Sony touches goes gold. Are you guys hearing me? So let's look at the games. Any association with any games from any third party does so well on PlayStation. Let's look at the first one here. Let's first talk about Forspoken. You see, Forspoken was announced in a live stream in 2020. And no doubt persons were very optimistic about this game being released on PlayStation exclusively. Now, this game no doubt had a very, very successful run. Let's look and see how successful this game did. Okay, Forspoken. Wait. Just 100 to 100,000 copies sold in Forspoken? No, that can't be right. And then they rushed it to PC and just only 390,000 persons added to their wish list? No, this can't be right. Let's see what the media said about how it did. Forspoken was a flop? This is Sony. Sony games don't flop. Just now, Square Enix admits that Forspoken was a flop and it cost them $100 million? What? That can't be right. Forspoken flopped on a system that had an installed base at the time of over 30 million. Wait, that can't be right. Come on, guys. Sony is the golden child. Let's look at another game. Let's forget about Forspoken for a while. Let's look at another game. Let's look at Final Fantasy. No doubt, Final Fantasy had many wins and many, success when it came to PlayStation exclusively. That is very clear and without a doubt, because the PlayStation fans, boast that Final Fantasy on the PlayStation is the best decision Square Enix make to have it exclusive on the PlayStation, right? So let's talk about Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy has seen massive growth since coming to PlayStation exclusively.
It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened. It never happened. This one was invented by a writer. Not this time. It never happened.
What do you mean it never happened? Here's the stats. Just now, wait. Is this chart showing that since the Final Fantasy going exclusive to PlayStation, we are seeing a steady decline in sales? That can't be right. Is that? Yes, there is a steady decline in sales since Final Fantasy has gone to PlayStation. What? This is PlayStation. What are you guys doing? No one could say this about the Golden Child. Come on, man. Sony has nothing to worry about. Look at this, a steady decline in sales. Let's move on to Final Fantasy. I didn't know this would have gone like this. Guys, I'm telling you, PlayStation is the Golden Child. Nothing they can do is wrong. Everything they touch goes gold. I don't know what's happening here, but let's look at another game. If it's one thing I would say is that PlayStation gamers support their exclusives. That goes without a doubt. I don't know what happened there with Forspoken or with Final Fantasy VII, but it's really true. They really go out and buy their first party exclusive. For example, MLB The Show. They showed massive support for that game. I mean, MLB The Show has a very big install base, and it will remain on. Wait. Why former PlayStation exclusive MLB The Show is coming to Xbox Game Pass? What? Why would they do that? Is it because the player base was too small, so they needed to look at other avenues to grow the player base? But isn't this something very similar to what Phil Spencer was saying? But in Sea of Thieves' case, the player base wasn't small because that had over 20 million players. But for MLB The Show, we are seeing very clear that they had to do this to grow the player base, something very similar to what Phil Spencer was saying about Sea of Thieves and other smaller titles. Wow, who would have thought that this is the same exact thing that Microsoft was doing with the 4 smaller games that they were using. So, you know what? We didn't have success with the games guys, seeing that games are fully supported by the PlayStation community, that anything that PlayStation touch when it comes to games goes gold. I mean, we even have reports, I'm even seeing reports of games being cancelled left, right, and center when it comes to PlayStation. So we didn't have much success with games. So let's look at the studios. No doubt, any studio that PlayStation touches turns to diamond. Everything goes perfect, everything goes good. Let's see about PlayStation studios that they have interactions with. Let's first look at Luminous Studios. No doubt after producing Forspoken for PlayStation, although it was not a commercial success, they would have bounced back and continue making great games for Square Enix and even a better exclusive for PlayStation. Dead. What do you mean dead? Who voice that was? What do you mean dead? Luminous Studio isn't dead. Wait. Yes, Luminous Studio closes, it shuts down. What? After having exclusive games for PlayStation, Luminous Studios never recovered. Yes, Luminous Studios is officially shut down right after making the exclusive game for PlayStation. Wow. Luminous Studio, all I have to say is that it was good while you were here, and I really hope that they are not just kind of pacifying us to say that you were absorbed into Square Enix, that really and truly you guys are out of there. Wow, Luminous Studio, gone but not forgotten. Okay, let's move on from Luminous studios, and let's look at Deviation Games. Deviation Games was a recent acquisition from Sony, and I believe, based on what MBG is saying, that Deviation Games could make a shooter to rival Call of Duty. I mean, MBG have full confidence that this game would rival the best Call of Duty. Dead. Who is this guy keeps saying dead? What are you saying, that Deviation Games is officially dead? They closed down? What's going on here, Sony? I thought Deviation Games would have made a game to rival Call of Duty. Now you guys has gone belly up. What's going on here, man? Wait, and just to add, that's another game cancelled because Deviation Games was making a AAA game to rival Call of Duty. Wow. It seems that PlayStation is not the golden child, but they are the bringer of darkness, the destroyer of worlds. What is going on here? So let me investigate and see if it's really true when it comes to PlayStation, getting rid and just destroying studios. And it's all starting to make sense, guys. Think about it. Jim Ryan was having cookies and tea with this English-based studio right before he dropped the hammer on them and laid off 900 workers and basically shut down the studio. The same could be said when it came to, the Twisted Metal live service game that was being made. Fire Sprite Studios and all of these other studios. Never forgetting the Japan studio. They closed down the studio that made The Last Guardian, a game that was in development for more than 10 years. How they could do those developers that? Even Pixel Opus, you remember that? Sony basically destroyed Pixel Opus, shutting down the studio. So the evidence is in front of us. The evidence is clear. Sony ain't no golden child. And a matter of fact, although the gaming media and no PlayStation fan is saying anything about all of these things happening in PlayStation, we are seeing it clear right here on Island Gamer with G that Sony is in big trouble. This is the end of the video, guys. I just want to say thanks for 2,000 subscribers. What a journey. Thank you for all those who show support. Thank you for those who would have contributed to my gaming rig. Thank you very much. In addition to that, there's a lot of Xbox fans who I would have, gotten help from. One of them is Boss Sean on Twitter. He makes some of the best AI salt Xbox, images out there. We have J-Rock, some of the best content. His content on Twitter, he really does give you some of the things that you might have missed. He's really on the ball when it comes to Xbox news, So there are a number of guys. I will do some other shout outs as I go on. But those two guys in particular I wanted to shout out because they really do a good job, and I sometimes take stuff from them to put in my videos. So thank you for that. Give them a sub. So thanks again, guys. Thanks for the support. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys for our next video Monday, God's willing. So let's get it.